Task number 13, practice and examples. This task is part of the What the Shell module, which is a prerequisite of upload vulnerabilities modules inside the complete beginner path on TryHackMe. So practice and examples. We have this room contains a lot of information and give you a little opportunity to put it into practice throughout. The following two tasks contain virtual machines on Ubuntu 18.04 server and one Windows server, each configured with a simple web server with which you can upload and activate shells. This is a sandbox environment, so there will be no filters to bypass. Login credentials and instructions for each will also be given, should you wish to log in to practice with Netcat, Socket, or Meterpreter shells. The remainder of this task will consist of shell examples for you to try out on the practice boxes. Answer the questions below. All right, so we'll start with the practice Linux box, and we have shell and TryHackMe credentials, login credentials, port 22, the default one. Okay, let's see. Answer the questions below. Try uploading a shell, a web shell, to the Linux box. Then use the following command to send a reverse shell back to a waiting listener on your own machine. Okay, so for the first task, we go to the IP, the vulnerable IP 42. Okay, here we have the interface with which we can upload things. We go inside the terminal. From here we say a copy from user, share web shells, and here we go inside PHP, reverse PHP to the current directory, sudo vim PHP reverse. All right, we say I to insert. Over here we put our attacker IP, which is 10.10.245.99. This can be also confirm, go in if config, and 5.10.10.245.99 for the port 1234. I'm good with that. Yeah. All right. Colon write and quit. Cool. This will upload to this website. We submit. Before we click on that, we go again to the terminal. Here we say clear netcat and VLP 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we click this, and you can see we actually have access to the IP. This is a simple reverse shell. So the first task is complete. Navigate to user shell web shells and reverse PHP in Kali and change the IP port of your tune. Okay, so basically this is also complete. We did this. Go into machine, SSH, okay. Use the techniques in task number 8 to experiment with bind and reverse netcat shells. Okay, so here we will recreate the exact scenario from task number 8 that we see over here. Let's see who am I just to see. Right, so this is our attacking machine and here is the vulnerable machine. Now, as you can see on the vulnerable machine, we introduce this command. For port, we will change this to, let's say, 444. We create that. Now, on our machine now, we say netcat and then the IP of our vulnerable machine. Then 149.28, port 1234. Boom. Now we can see that we are connected exactly like we have in the example above. So this is how you connect with a bind shell. Okay, so in this example, exactly like in the above example, we saw after we have a connection, we connected with SSH to a vulnerable machine. From our attacking machine, we used netcat to connect to the vulnerable machine. In a reverse shell, the vulnerable machine connects to our listening port. That example is exactly what we did in step number 1 and step number 2. Alright, complete. Now practice reverse shell and bind shell using SoCat on the Linux target. Try both the normal and special techniques. Now to do the special reverse shell,
my specials now, my stand-up. Like I put all these different things in it, and I can put all these numbers together and create these formulas, right? And now, these three, same thing, I can write it down. This new one that I'm working on, I'm on tour. Make sure you catch my tour. The Bible tour coming to the city.
see? Okay, so this is the special use of a reverse shell. We can use commands like up arrow to see commands. We can use clear, and you can go back to task number 6 to see what else you can do. This is complete. Let's go to payload all things. Look through payload all things and try to some of the other reverse shell techniques. Try and analyze them and see why they work. We have reverse shells for TCP and UDP. You can see that they are not that hard to understand. They are pretty much basically the same. Linux only with Python, IPv4, IPv4 no spaces, right? IPv6 is, actually you can see here, they are pretty much doing the same thing. All of them spawn shells. The most used shells for Linux is Bash. The most used shell for Windows will be PowerShell. Alright, so on the payload all things you can analyze some more. Let's go. Switch to the Windows virtual machine. Okay, so now that the recording was not recorded, let's do it again. We were at this step. Switch to the Windows virtual machine. Try uploading and activating the PHP reverse shell. Does this work? We opened the Windows attacking machine, the vulnerable Windows machine. We have to switch to the Windows virtual machine. It is opened. Try uploading and activating the PHP reverse shell. Does this work? Right, so we navigated to that location on our attacking machine. From the terminal, I copied the PHP reverse shell, which is stored under users share web shells, PHP, and then PHP reverse shell PHP. All right, now we sudo vim PHP because we have to change two things: the listening IP of our listener on the attacking machine and also the IP. Let's open a new tab. Here we say netcat nvlp 1234. I will say 1234 because I just want to change only the IP in this shell, not the port, right? The default port in this PHP reverse shell is 1234. So netcat listener is opened. All right. Over here to the IP, we say our own IP 237. Escape, right, and quit. We clear this. Now browse. We go to downloads. We upload and we submit the shell. Over here we have our netcat listening. Boom. When we open that, boom, we get this. It's not working. Why? Because we have to use PowerShell for this. Now clear that. Inside this module, in step number 6, we have to use this command. Now if we go to the terminal, we have to use another command. This command, I will just paste it here. Now we have to go to the Windows box because we have to log in the Windows machine with the given command, which uses RDP to log in this Windows machine. This is a GUI, right? A graphical user interface. After that we'll finish. We copy this command from task number 6, the socket command. Let's check out the RDP. Awesome. It will take just a little bit more to finish loading all the processes. Now inside here, we need the command line. We paste the socket command for the PowerShell for the port, as we said, 1234. And for the IP is our own attacking machine IP, 10.9.2.2.3.7. Let's make sure that we have opened netcat. Actually, we don't have netcat open. NVL P1234. Now, if you press enter and we go back to our terminal, you can see that we are logged in the Windows, actually as administrator in the Windows machine, right? From our own machine. This is the demonstration of a reverse shell using PowerShell. Now, this is complete. The web server is running with system privileges. Create a new user and add it to the administrators group, then log in over RDP or WinRM. We'll use RDP, we'll use this command, just paste it over here. From the RDP connection, we use net users administrator default account guest, and we have another utility account. Okay, now we press enter. The command completed successfully. If we say now net users, we can see TryHackMe is added here. Now we have to do one more step. We have to add it to the administrator groups. Now we go back to the RDP, we paste this command, and we have local group administrators, and now we add our username. Here we say TryHackMe, add, command completed successfully. Net local group. What do we have in here? Administrators. As you can see, TryHackMe is there. Now, let's see. This step is complete. Experiment using socket and netcat to obtain reverse and bind shells on the Windows target. Okay, let's take this one. We go to our machine. We use it to port 1234. We go like that. Now, we take this one and we go inside the RDP connection. Here, we paste this. And we have to change some things. We have to change here for the local port. We have to place our port that we just opened up. And for here, we have to add our Linux machine IP 239. Now, if we press enter here, we should have in our command access to Windows. And we have a fast reverse shell. And for a bind shell, actually we have to use this command on our machine, but let's use this one. Let's close the connection here. Now we take this command for a bind shell. We go inside the Windows machine, we paste it over here, and whatever port we open up here, whatever, we say, let's say 6767. And we press enter. Now when we access 6767 for the IP of the machine, 10.10.213.16. Okay, we go with this command on our machine. We paste it over here, and for port we say 6767 and the target IP 10.10.213 and then 67 or maybe 67 is something that 213.16. Okay, 16. We press enter, and now we should have access. Actually, something. The IP is 213, and now, boom! There you go again. Who am I? Windows administrator. Awesome. Create a 64-bit Windows Meterpreter shell using MSF Venom and upload it to the Windows target. Activate the shell and catch it with the multi-handler. Experiment with the features of the shell. We have in task 9 this MSF command. Now, if you jump in our terminal and we paste this command, you have to do some changes. First, listening port will be 1234. Actually, it's 444, 404s. And we have to also place our listening IP. Wait a second, here is L port, and for L host we have our own IP 10.9.1.239. This is the IP of the vulnerable machine. The attacking machine. Now in here is not shell, is Meterpreter. Okay, we good. I like it. Windows. Yes, is the payload. It's a reverse TCP. For the file, it's exe. The output is shell. L host is our own IP and L port. Let's create this. Until then, we jump in a new tab and we jump to the vulnerable machine IP. We are inside here. You can upload this vulnerability multiple ways, but let's keep it short and sweet. We submit. Now we go back to TryHackMe. We go here, down here to Windows practice box. We copy this entire command to connect to RDPay. Actually, we can paste it over here and we go. We wait a little bit to open the GUI. RDP is basically a GUI. Now we are connecting to the Windows machine, the vulnerable machine. Control-Shift-T to open a new terminal tab. We wait for the RDP service to load everything. And inside here we need access to the... Actually, we good from the file explorer. Let's go to MSF console to open up the multi-handler. Inside here in the file explorer, you can see we have htdocs. If you go over here, there you go. We have the application from which we uploaded the shell. We'll not do anything in here yet because we powered up my MSF console. Let's wait for this to finish loading. Perfect. Now we say here search multi-handler, use number 7, and here we say options. We have a generic shell reverse TCP. We don't want that. We want another one. We say set payload to, if we go to step number 10, we want to set it to Windows x64 reverse shell TCP. x64 architecture shell and then reverse TCP. We also have to set L host to our machine 10.9.1.239. And now if we say options, we are set with a payload option of Windows of 64 architecture, a shell reverse TCP. Our L host is correct. L port is correct. Now, if we say exploit J, like in this example over here, we place it under background, but we are running the process, right? It started the TCP reverse handler, but we don't have it under these sessions because it's not active. And now let's open the shell, sending the stage. We have it to right. And now let's see what will happen. Command shell session 1 opened. Now I think we can say sessions. Oh yeah, we have it over here and we say session 1. Actually, I think it's sessions 1. Oh yeah. Now, this is it. This is how you use the multi-handler to access or to have a reverse shell with MSF console. Okay, and for the last step, create both stage and stageless Meterpreter shell for either target. Upload manual activate and catching a shell. Netcat does this work. Okay, so this is exactly what we did so far. So this one is completed. A staged, you just saw a staged Meterpreter shell, and a stageless is basically what we did so far with Netcat and SoCat